So hi, this is my review for The Elephant and the Ant. The Ant and the Elephant by Vince Poscente. And it's a parable and 5-step plan to transform individual performance and leadership for the self, right? This book. It's very good looking. Let me see if I can get a good angle on it. Yeah, that's a good angle on it. And when I go to editing, I'll make sure I flip this so that right now it seems the words are backwards, but they're not quite backwards, right? So anyway, I want to do a review on the Ant and the Elephant, right? Leadership for the self. If anybody that knows me, they know that I am like a personal development junkie, right? More so in the past year, probably much deeper in the past 7 months or so. I've really been into personal development consistently, like books and lectures and downloads and articles and all this kinds of stuff. Anything that I can hear, audio, I'll listen to while I'm doing other things. And I read a lot of books, right? One of the things I was interested in, I tried to join a book club online. And it's like a businesswoman's book club for Dallas or something like that. Well, I clicked on the, everybody and all the pictures. They show you little pictures on Meetup. And everybody kind of had, like the Hillary Clinton pantsuits on and stuff. And I was like, well, I don't really fit that. But, I was like, hey, well, always great to go try a new environment or see what's happening. So I click on the link to join the group, and then it sends a little message saying this lady with her, Hillary Clinton suit on, she has to approve you. So we wait and see. Well, it's been like 5 days. I haven't heard anything unless the group is inactive. But I kind of looked at my profile. I was just like, well, what would they judge? Because you want to know. So I'm like sitting like, in the yoga style with my legs crossed on the beach in a floral jumpsuit, with my hair up in this poofy fluff, kind of doing and shell earrings on, kind of doing the namaste thing, right? And I'm thinking like, I may not seem too much like a businesswoman because I don't have on the Hillary Clinton suit, and I didn't have my hair, in the way the little short haircuts to press out, like a lot of people wear. And so I was like, well, maybe I don't fit in that group. Maybe that's the option. Nonetheless, I don't even have time for a book club because we work such busy schedules, and everybody I know is like working. I mean, like, we're all going to be millionaires and rich when we're in our 40s because we're like working. I mean, they're writing books, they're doing events and creating this and that and buying things and real estate and flipping, all kinds of interesting things. So when I share something, I usually just send a quick text message. So anyway, I got this book, The Ant and the Elephant, Leadership for the Self, from a mentor that I had once. And some people think mentors are for life, but they're not always for life. Sometimes they're for a short period of time, right? Well, one of the doctors at the university that I work with, one of the research professors, she met me and she thought that I was an amazing person and I would bring a lot of value to the university. And so I was able to get into school that way. It was a little bit of social capital and cultural capital because she found out about me when I applied by going to my website and reading my blogs. And she said that she read my blog and she thought that I was an amazing person that she could connect with. Go figure. I'm like writing these blogs every week and zero comments. Every now and then there's one or two. That's why you just keep doing your work. And then so she's choosing me on that criteria. And so I was able to get into this really great research college to do my graduate work in. And, I didn't have the examination scores that were like amazing. They were like, this is the least amount of unintelligence we'll take. And my points were like 5 points above. But, those tests don't say anything about the quality because I graduated with honors, right? So anyway, she gave me this book, and at the time, which I still do now, when someone suggests something to me, I put it in a note and I go look it up later. But when a mentor or someone that I'm, actively seeking the information from or I look up to hand me a book and say, here, read this. This is great. I always give it to student. I read it like within a matter of a week and a half, right? And I probably could have read it quicker, but, I got kids. I got daughters. I got to take care of them. So I probably could have read it sooner, but, life happens. And I was working full-time at the time. So the Ant and Elephant, Leadership for Life, it talks about your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. The subconscious mind being the smallest, being the largest part of your mind, and then the conscious mind being a small part. So Elgo the ant, or is it Elgo the elephant, right? Elgo, the elephant, which is the subconscious, and Adir, the ant, that is the conscious part of your mind. So you see the contrast between the size. So the part of you that automatically reacts to everything, and the part of you that makes habits and patterns, that is the largest part of your brain, and it's the one that you pay attention to the least because it's the subconscious mind. The conscious mind, compared to an elephant size, is about the size of an ant. And so it's a really good parable because it kind of takes you through this journey that they have about finding an oasis, and constantly the elephant wants to turn back because he doesn't believe. And so Adir, the ant, has to come up with some pretty crafty ways and some new habits and some new ways of thinking and some adjusting his mind in order to get them to the oasis. And so it kind of talks about the very lazy part of our brains, the huge part, you might call it lizard brain. Some people say that in other writings. The huge part of our brain, our mind, is very hard to control. It's the part that when we're not paying attention, it's on autopilot, right? And so this book is really great, I think, in that it shows you a clear picture of the separation of the subconscious and the conscious mind, so that you can then look at the two minds separately and you can affect change on the one that works habitually through patterns. You can use that tiny little ant of a conscious mind you have, and look, my elephant in the background. You can use that tiny little conscious mind that you have and affect the subconscious, because what happens is the ant is much stronger than the elephant, right? It is much stronger. The elephant needs to be led. In this book, I mean, that's what it talks about. And so what you find is that all the time you're letting the elephant lead only because it's bigger. It's not because it's more powerful. It's not because it's stronger. It's not because it has better ideas. It's only because it's bigger. So that when the ant realizes that he can change the patterns, the motivations, and the thought process of the elephant, the book takes a whole different turn. And so I enjoy the book a lot because it talks about how people start following their dreams. And as they start going along that pattern, they get some setbacks, right? So the elephant is the one that perceives the setbacks as reasons to quit. And so because the largest part of our mind, the part that we're not paying attention to, perceive everything that doesn't work out exactly the way we plan as a reason to quit, sometimes we allow ourselves to be controlled by the elephant instead of tapping into the ant and having the ant communicate to the elephant that we're not going to stop, we're not going to give up, and we're not going to give in. So this may be a perceived negative that's happening, but I'm going to take it as a positive and I'm going to grow from it. I'm going to improve myself from it. So that sort of scenario happens several times in the book. They meet a couple of characters along the way, like, Owl, and it's very, very interesting. And so it's pretty cool because it kind of takes you almost like in a fairy tale outside of the basic leadership books that's just like change your mind, change yourself, and some motivational speakers, personal development people I can listen to sometime, but some of the other ones I can't always just listen to because they make me feel a certain way. Like I can't always listen to Tony Robbins because he always makes me feel like I'm not doing enough when I've done enough for that day. And it's just, sometimes people have a certain effect on you. So when I get into this mode where the elephant might be taking over in my life, I might put on Tony Robbins because it's like, snap out of it, change your physiology, get up and run, go do something, talk yourself up, look in the mirror, tell yourself you're beautiful, you can make it, you can do anything you want. And of course it works, right? But I don't need that kind of pump up like every single day. So the story is very enjoyable. I love it. It's basically about unlocking your true potential, like all the other books that are out there related to this topic. But just like any other thing, like there's a million different video games out there, there are a million different ways that someone can affect someone else to gain leadership over their mind, and how they operate, and their habits and their rituals. And this is just another way of doing it. It's an awesome little story, a great little parable. And then by the end, it's like you're like rooting for this elephant. You're rooting for him to believe in himself more. But you know that it's not really within the elephant, it's based in the ant. And the ant is gonna pull through and create patterns and habits and a different mindset that actually gets them to their dream, the oasis. And we're all trying to get to the oasis, right? Whatever that oasis is for you, it's something different for everybody. So anyway, I do recommend this one, The Ant and the Elephant by Vince Poscente. And he's like an Olympic gold, medalist. I don't know if he got the medal for skiing. And I'm assuming it was a while ago because in the book he has like gray hair. So I know he's not like skiing right now, right? But, you know, whatever year it was. So he said that it took a lot of effort for him to get to that place. And it took him 4 years from being a casual skier to being, you know, a gold medalist in the world. Or either, what is it, participating in the gold medal games, I believe. So anyway, this is a great book. I think it's a great introduction if you're one of those people that's trying to get into how do I start to see these things separately from who I am and where I want to be. How do I start to separate my mind and see it clearly? This is a great book for that, right? And I think it's great for every level. It doesn't matter if you're far into it or just beginning, it'll work. So anyway, The Ant and the Elephant, Leadership for the Self.